Hi, I'm Pamela Morgan for Flirting with Flavors. I'm a chef, a party host, and I love to bring you recipes, culinary delights, and all my best secrets for a delicious life. So today I have something really special for you. By the way, this is my first Facebook Live, and I'm really excited to be here, and I want to welcome all of you into our group here. And we are going to do a spring cleanse today. I'm going to tell you all about what I'm doing, and I think you're going to be amazed. So follow along with me. We're going to answer questions at the end. So make sure you write your questions down, and we'll come back to you at the end to answer your questions. So additionally, we're going to have a special at the end. So don't leave us, okay, because we are announcing something very special. So I love food. Those of you who know me know that. I think about food when I get up in the morning. I think about it during the day. I test recipes. I'm always eating. And a lot of times I'm not really eating something that's that healthy. Probably very much like you. In New York, there's so many great restaurants to eat in, and I love to eat. So I met Dr. Daryl Gioffre. It was actually my chiropractor, and he is an amazing nutritionist. And we were talking about cleansing, and I was like, okay, it's spring. I need to give my body some love, and I think I'm gonna go on a cleanse. So he was like, well, we're starting April 9th. So I started the cleanse with him on April 9th. I'm in my 4th day of the cleanse. I feel energized, I feel great. And what I wanna do is I wanna show you some of the recipes that I'm making during the cleanse. And Dr. Daryl, come.
Good morning, everybody. Hello.
I have him here with me. This is really a treat having you in my
This is amazing. By the way, this place is beautiful. We're on 5th Avenue, New York City. Day 4 of the cleanse. We're all feeling great.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. So your cleanse is called, or your program is called Get Off Your Acid.
Yep.
And that's what we do when we cleanse. We're trying to alkalize our body because
Absolutely.
we eat too much junk.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of toxins coming in from our world, which we can't really do anything about. So to cleanse is so good for you. And to do it, how many times a year?
I always like to do a 7-day cleanse, which we're on right now 4 times a year, you know, as the season changes. But you have to understand is that cleansing is a lifestyle. As you said, we are surrounded by toxins everywhere. You know, one of the things I just talked about in the book is that there's 5 different sources of toxins. They're in the food that we eat, and if you look at the standard American diet, it's ironically nicknamed the SAD diet, S-A-D, because we're literally pumping ourselves up with all these damaging toxins and acids every day. So the cleansing that we do 4 times a year, it's great because it's a reboot. It's like a rebirth. That's what I love about spring. You know, it's like rebirth in the environment. It's a rebirth in our body. So it's good to really do that a few times a year, just to kind of, you know, reboot, kickstart the body. But when we're off the cleanse, it's something that we have to do every single day. You know, detoxification is something that we have to have as a conscious lifestyle, way of life, and there's a lot of different ways to go about it.
That's why.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
This is so great. I drink this every morning since I met you.
Good for you.
And it makes me feel so good during the day.
Yep.
And why don't we do a cocktail?
All
Let's
right.
have a little green cocktail.
So I'm going to teach everybody today one of my little tips that I like to do for drinking the greens. Now you can obviously drink this with just pure water. Alkaline water is the ideal delivery system, which we're drinking right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually take some coconut water and we're going to add our greens to that. And the beauty about the greens is that 1 scoop of these greens is equivalent to 5 servings of organic greens. It's very concentrated.
Wow.
It's 27 of your most alkalizing greens, especially wheatgrass, which is like the most powerful food on the planet. It's pure chlorophyll.
So for me, I travel a lot.
Yep.
So this is so great to take with you on trips.
Absolutely.
You can drink it in the morning, you can drink it in the afternoon if you're not getting your greens, if you're drinking a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, you know, this life, it's not about deprivation, it's about moderation.
Right.
You know, we give people permission to have chocolate, have wine, have your coffee, but the problem is that, yes, you're allowed to do that, everybody. Shock, shock, shock. But the problem is that most people, that's all they're doing. They're overdoing it. Right. So we have to give the body the things that it needs to neutralize these acids. Because if you don't get it in this way, your body will find a way. And I call this robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, when your body becomes acidic, it'll actually take calcium from your bones, magnesium from your muscles to neutralize that blood pH. That's how important it is. So that's what this is. So what we have here is a little cappuccino frother. Yeah, so this is really cool. So you just get one of these for $5 on Amazon, and you just go like this.
Love that.
And you can see within 2 seconds, you have a perfect drink. But what we're going to actually do is add some chia seeds into this. So chia seeds is one of my most favorite things to add to almost every meal we eat.
Why? Tell us about chia seeds.
They're 50% omega-3 fatty acids, which is anti-inflammatory. And when you look at these acidic foods, they are literally making us so inflammatory.
That's why we get sick.
That's why we get sick.
Because our body's inflamed.
Yep, that's why we get sick. We gain weight. But if we keep on getting inflamed, that leads to chronic diseases. Things like cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes. So we really have to deflame the body. So chia seeds is great for that. They're high in fiber, high in protein, and what they also do is they give that body the slow burning energy and fuel. We talked about being energized. It's a healthy fat. So don't be afraid of fats when you want to lose weight or cleanse. Or you have to understand that there are fats that heal and there are fats that kill. These are the fats that just energize and alkalize your body. So go on.
The other day I was giving this to somebody and she had never really had a green drink before. So I just did it with water, and it was a little strong for her. So if you do this like we're doing it today with this coconut water, then it tastes like coconut water. You don't even taste the greens in it. I think it's delicious.
Exactly. So if there's anyone out there who's transitioning to this lifestyle, your taste buds may be very acidic. So you're used to things like coffee or carbonated water, which is acidic. That's an unusual suspect for a lot of people. So starting out with something like this is an easy transition for them. So I like coconut water. You can do grapefruit juice, which is alkaline. So a lot of people guess.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So people hear of grapefruit, they think it's citric acid. Right. But we don't care what the food does outside of the body. We want to know what this food does once it's consumed inside the body. So things like lemons, limes, grapefruit, they're highly alkalizing. Exactly. So those are good.
I drink lemon in my water all the time.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's great. Things like oranges are acid forming. So that's a citric acid, but what's the difference between the two? The oranges are high in sugar. Yeah. So if you want to know if something is alkaline or acidic, there's a couple things you have to look at. You have to look at the fiber content, so all 4 of those citric acid foods high in fiber, the mineral content, so they're all high in minerals, but the sugar content. So lemons, limes, and grapefruits are low in sugar, oranges are high in sugar.
This is very interesting. That's why you don't need to drink orange juice in the morning.
That's right. Okay.
Cheers!
Cheers, everybody!
To your health.
That is awesome.
By the way, I'm going to be posting these recipes on my blog, flirtingwithflavors.com. So make sure that you sign in, and I'll send it directly to you.
Excellent. Yep, and we also have these recipes we're going to be going over, and we'll go through these one by one, but our website is getoffyouracid.com. We have a huge blog there, as you know, with many other alkaline recipes. So what I did today was I picked out my 3 favorite recipes. I mean, there's literally over 500 alkaline recipes.
So good. I've been using them every day. I go on your site, and I pick the recipe that I want. And I order all my food, so I have lots of greens and vegetables in my fridge, and then I just decide what I want to make. And
I think that's the best thing, is that you want to look at, like, what are your most alkaline foods? You have things like spinach, avocado, celery, cucumbers. So it's always good to have 5 or 6 staples in your refrigerator, because what you'll find is that the core of many of these recipes are going to be the same foods. And then you might add different spice here or something there, but if you have these core set of things always in your fridge, you'll be able to really make a lot of different of these recipes. So I think that's the benefit of all these.
Well, let's start with one of the recipes. So this is the ultimate chilled summer greens, and it's raw.
So you might be saying, why are we using a summer recipe in spring? This is actually, we have a private Facebook group for all of our cleansers out there. You might be joining us there if you're doing the cleanse right now. This is an actual recipe that we posted in the group, which you saw the other day. Because you have to understand is that we have 4 different recipe ebooks that we use all year round, but these are foods that you can use anytime during the year.
Yeah, anytime you can find
or anytime
spinach,
during the day.
Cucumbers, celery, always.
Yeah, and you asked me before, what time of day can you have these? You can have this for breakfast, you can have this as a snack, lunch, dinner, so it's very versatile.
So can you make this ahead of time and leave it in your fridge?
Absolutely. And I recommend you do that, because I think preparation is really the key to success with this lifestyle. And I noticed that in my life, when we don't prepare, that's when we tend to kind of go off track a little bit.
That's when you eat the Doritos.
Oh boy. So I think this is a good thing, is that you want to make these things ahead of time. So on Sunday, my wife Chelsea and I, that's our prep day. You know, we do our grocery shopping in the morning. You know, we have all of our things ready to go.
Yep.
We'll make some soups. We'll make some, you know, some hummus, some different salad dressings.
Right.
We make a big rainbow salad. So in our fridge, we have like a big heap of different greens. We put in our different, you know, cucumbers and celery and jalapeno, and it's just really
and
all
then
the.
you have it, and
then you have it.
it's there for you.
And it's
so
there
this
for you.
is really good.
Yeah, and
good
we'll make quinoa as well.
Right.
Right, so that we could just grab some quinoa because that's another versatile
and
dish.
put some vegetables on it,
Exactly.
or beans, or whatever. We're going to make a great bean and quinoa recipe.
Quinoa burrito bowl.
Yeah.
So should we start with the ultimate summer greens?
Let's start. So
all right.
What do we do here?
So let's put in first the
cucumber.
Yeah, let's put the cucumber and the celery in first because.
And I just chopped it up.
Yeah, you just throw it in any which way you want.
Yeah.
The reason why we want to put
all
these in, put all of it in there.
Okay.
The reason why we want to put all this in first is that these are high water content vegetables.
Right.
And with the Vitamix, you know, you don't want to put the spinach, which is a little bit drier at the bottom, because this is going to start to blend. It'll create a lot of water first, and it'll mix a little bit easier for us.
Okay.
Okay. So let's add that in, and let's just shove it in there. Yep. And that's the best thing about spinach. By the way, you can use any green for this. Yeah, we're going to have to, what we might do is blend some and then add some more, because it'll reduce down a little bit.
Okay.
You can use kale, you can use watercress, you can use chard. I love spinach because it's a very neutral green.
Right.
This is great for kids if you're trying to get your kids to try this lifestyle. It doesn't really have a very strong flavor, whereas something like Swiss chard could be a little bit bitter.
It can.
So this is great, and again, it's a high water content, highly alkaline. So this is what we usually use most of the time.
Okay.
But you can mix and match whatever you want to do.
This is just water?
2 cups of alkaline water, so it's got a high pH. And remember that you always want to have your water filtered, everybody. Do not, or try not to use tap water. Right? People say New York tap water is the best.
Not.
Right? Yeah, maybe the best out of all the water that there is, but research shows there's 316 contaminants in tap water in New York. One of those is Prozac, everybody. They actually found Prozac in our...
I'm tired.
I think that's why we're all a little crazy, but no, they actually found Prozac in our drinking water from the urinary discharge of people taking the drug. It's insane.
Unreal.
So this is why you must have filtered water. So if anyone out there wants to know what filters that we use, or if you need a suggestion based on your budget, we can tell you what is the best bang for your buck.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, so why don't we...
Garlic?
Let's add some garlic. Yummy.
Love
Italian in
that.
me, we might add a little bit more of that. All right, and we're going to add some extra virgin olive oil. Excellent. And then we're going to add a couple of limes,
and
fresh juice.
some lime juice.
You got it.
Okay, I squeezed it already.
And we can add some of that sea
You know,
salt.
and you can play with this too, so it doesn't, as he said, it doesn't have to be exactly what we're doing here.
Right.
And then, okay,
Ready to go.
Let's go.
So let's put the top on and blend away.
Okay, we start slow. Now turn it up a little bit.
So really want to give this a good blend. Can you hear me, everybody? The more you blend this, it emulsifies and all those high nutrients come out. Let's give it maybe a little bit longer.
Okay.
Just about another 10 or 15 seconds.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, we're going to add a little more. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so
add the rest of the spinach.
Looks good.
It does.
Smells great already.
We need some bowls to serve it in.
Yes. Okay, so let's get the cap back on.
Oh, there they are. Okay. Got my little bowls here.
And by the way, we're using the Vitamix, which is, I call it Ferrari blenders, but any blender will do. You have a NutriBullet, whatever works, okay? All right. Okay, we are ready to go. All right, so we're going to serve it up.
This recipe is so easy. I mean, you're basically just throwing stuff in a blender.
That's my best part. I think we all need to understand we are busy, Pamela. I know that you have a busy lifestyle, so do I. I think everybody else out there, especially if you got kids. So you got to make this lifestyle convenient. In my experience, if it's not convenient, it's very, very hard to sustain this. So that's the beauty of these recipes.
Garnishing with a little fresh basil.
Yeah.
But you could use anything. You could use dill. You could use cilantro.
Exactly.
Again, parsley, whatever you have.
If you want to spice it up a little bit, you can add a little bit of cayenne pepper.
Ooh.
We added here some smoked paprika. You can use regular paprika, and it just looks really pretty too.
That is beautiful. Let's see. Can you see
Give it
it?
a taste test.
Here we go.
Oh.
Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So you can drink this anyway. You can kind of do it that way. You can use a spoon it. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you do the taste test. Go ahead. Okay. You do the honors. I'm just going to wipe my hands there. How do we do?
Delicious.
Good.
Really fresh. Really fresh. I could eat this anytime.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's very light, which is great. But there's so many nutrients in this that it will fill you up. All right, so that's the best part about it. A lot of times for dinner, we'll have a salad and then we'll make this soup because it's just, again, a very good complement. And the best part about it, it's raw. All right, it's high in phytonutrients, high in chlorophyll.
Really
this
good.
is a powerful blood cleanser and blood detoxifier. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to have better skin, if you want to decrease inflammation in your body, this is one of my most powerful
I would
recipes.
drink that every day.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Fantastic.
All right, so
okay.
Why don't we move on? I'm going to bring this. If you guys can save the rest of that for us. All right.
Clean my cutting board here.
So as we're changing up, I want to read just a little quote that I got from Pamela's website here because when I met Pamela, I was so intrigued by what she does because she really adds a different flair to this whole food. I'm a certified raw food chef. I love food. The reason why I became a raw food chef is because I was addicted to sugar my entire life, and as I was learning more about nutrition and things like that, I had to figure out a better way to make this stuff taste good. Right? It didn't taste good at the time for me. One of the reasons why was my taste buds were so acidic. The other reason why was that just the foods I was eating just didn't have the flair and spice that I wanted. So I learned to make these foods taste good. Then I met Pamela and I started learning about the things that she does, and she takes it to a whole nother level. So I just want to read this as we're setting up our Quinoa burrito bowl. So this is from her website. I see food as I see flirtation, sexy, provocative, and a little mysterious.
Yeah.
So my desire is to teach you how to flirt your way into a full-on passion for cooking and entertaining. I have to change the way you see your kitchen, not as a foe, but as a creative place. In a world full of technology, this is big, everybody, I see it's important to get off our phones and into the experience of slowing down and smelling the rosemary, or cilantro for me.
Right.
It starts with cooking and it matters. Last line. I'll help you see food as you've never seen it before by working up your senses. Food is sexy, ingredients are magical, and together they could be sizzling and pleasurable. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So where did all this come about?
I feel that way about food when I cook, when I'm with beautiful ingredients, fresh ingredients like we have today. And then we have spices that turn it into something so interesting.
Right.
Or traveling when you're learning about different cultures and spices, and then you come home and you figure out how to make that Mexican dish that you had in Tulum or wherever. That's so exciting to me.
Absolutely.
And then sitting across the table with your family, with your wife, with your loved ones, with your friends, it's all about slowing down. And we live in such a fast-paced world. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
And we're just like, this all the time.
Life is busy and life can get crazy. And
Yeah.
we have to kind of be conscious about slowing down. I know my daughter Aaliyah is going to be 1 next week. My son's going to be 4, and that's one of our things. Is like we never let them use electronics at the table. We never watch TV.
That's good.
To us, that is our time. And food is really what this whole thing revolves around. But it's amazing that when we eat, it's like it's all these healthy foods. Like our kids love these things. Like that's what they were raised on.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where like your kids are at or where you're at.
I think if you teach them young, it's something that they will know forever.
Right.
I taught my son, I never had like chips and Cokes in the house. And his friends would come over and they would want to know where it all was, and we just didn't have it. But so he doesn't eat it today.
Right, exactly.
So
and don't be afraid to make these changes. It's a lot of times about adding, not taking away. It doesn't have to be a complete lifestyle change. It's about an awareness,
Right.
Just starting to add some of these foods. Like what do you like? What flavors? Anything that you're eating right now, there could be a swap for that food. So start to just kind of think, what better choice can I make?
Right.
And as you start to make better choices, what happens? The good soon will outweigh the bad. And I think that's the best approach that you need to take when you start to change your lifestyle and really take on these different types of foods. So, All right, so now we're going to do the quinoa burrito bowl. This is a staple. I got to say, in the book, Get Off Your Ass, this is Kelly Ripa, who's a big advocate. One of her favorite recipes. I wrote the forward of the book. So why don't you take us through this right here?
Okay, so we're starting here with quinoa.
Yep.
And I made it already, but quinoa is so easy to make.
Yep.
And if you buy it, the instructions are probably on the bag, but it's generally 1 cup of liquid to, 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of liquid, and then you just cook it on a pot on your stove. If you want to add a little flavor to it, I might add a little onion, a little garlic, certainly put some salt in it. But quinoa is a staple on your program and on a healthy lifestyle. And if you make a lot of it, then as you said ahead of time, you have it in your refrigerator, and then you can always just throw some delicious vegetables or beans. We're doing beans today.
And one note about quinoa. Quinoa is not a grain, all right? A lot of people think it's a grain. It's actually a seed.
Right.
So grains is a big no-no. That's something that we definitely want to avoid. The reason being is that, number one, grains contain gluten, which obviously can cause leaky gut, but the bigger thing is that grains become contaminated with fungus, fungal mycotoxins. So that's why we've got to stay away from greens. But quinoa is totally okay. It's a good food on this one,
all right, that's good to know.
So
and it's delicious, too.
Yeah, it's delicious. So what do we have right here?
So this is, Aduki beans or Adzuki beans.
This is how I call
Either
it.
one.
Right.
And but could you use black beans or?
I'm not a fan of black beans just because those are more. That's one of the most acidic bean that there is. So not all beans are created equal.
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, so can you? Yes, you can do whatever you want. But again, we always want to go with the more alkaline forming beans. So
these are
my favorite. I always like to use a lot of like lentils, chickpeas. Because those are more of our alkaline forming beans.
Right.
All right, so this is a great one. This is from a company called Eden Organics. So if you're very busy and you don't have time to actually
cook your own beans,
cook them or sprout them, which is something that we like to do. So what we'll do is we'll take these Azuki beans dry, we'll soak them overnight, and then we'll actually strain them and then sprout them for a day. And what that does, it basically removes all the anti-nutrients, all the enzyme inhibitors, so it becomes more bioavailable. Because the reality is that some people do have trouble digesting beans.
And they're easier to digest.
That's it. All right, and what we did here was we actually strained the beans from this. All right, it's a BPA-free container, and then what we did was we mashed them a little bit. Again, just to break open the wall and to make this more absorbable in your body. Because remember, you're not what you eat, you're what you digest, absorb, and assimilate. So we got to make sure we make these foods more bioavailable to the body.
I'm going to quote you on that.
All right, so we have 2 cans of that. We have some garlic again.
Right.
All right.
And then I chopped up some scallions.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to the beans.
And again, we're going to post all these recipes.
And then we have one of my favorite spices, cumin. I love it. I put it in my avocado all the time when I have avocado toast. I still do that.
Yummy, good. It's a good one.
But it's
and
really
overdo the cumin, everybody. This is like favorite. We say a teaspoon, but make that thing a heaping teaspoon. You cannot overdo this. It's one of my favorites, like yours.
And then some lime juice.
Lime juice, excellent. All right, so let's give that a nice mix. Do we have a little spoon?
Yeah. One.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a very low flame. We're going to let that just simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let all those spices and juices just really mix with the beans. And as we do that, we'll move on to our next recipe.
Now, if you wanted to put a little olive oil in here, could you?
You can, yes. But one thing you got to remember is that olive oil does not hold a high smoke point, like something like avocado oil or coconut oil. So if you're cooking olive oil, number one, make sure it's on a low flame, because if it's on a medium to higher flame, it actually will get oxidized. It'll turn into a trans fat, and that will create inflammation in your body. So olive oil is amazing. It's one of the most alkaline forming foods. It's a healthy fat, but you have to remember that you cannot cook with that. So when cooking, stick to coconut oil, stick to avocado oil, because those hold a higher smoke point.
And what about salt?
Salt is amazing. Don't fear the salt. Again, I can't tell you how many people come into my wellness center and they're like, Dr. Daryl, my doctor put me on a no-salt diet. I mean, that is the fastest way to kill yourself. How many fish in the ocean do you see on a no-salt diet? They would die, right? We're no different. So just like fats, there are salts that heal and salts that kill. So table salt, sodium chloride, that's the bad salt. That's the stuff that's inflaming people, raising blood pressure, causing all sorts of chronic diseases. This is healthy sea salt. Things like Celtic gray sea salt, Himalayan.
Where's my sea salt?
Yeah, that's right over there.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I use often this Hampton Salt Company which is sea salt. I love Hampton salt.
Yeah, it's a great brand. Really know where your manufacturers are, your salts, because not all salts are created equal. I like Himalayan, Celtic Gray, and this is like a little 2-ounce shaker. This is something called real salt from the Great Salt Lake in Utah. So when we go out to restaurants, you're never or rarely going to find a healthy sea salt. So me and my wife, we take one of these, we throw it in our bag. This is like very portable, very convenient, and we take this out on our table at the restaurants, and we just use this as our salt. People at the table next to us, they look like we're crazy, but actually they're really intrigued as to what we're doing.
I do the same thing. That's funny.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, this is
keep it in my purse.
Keep it everywhere. I keep one of these in my office, one at home. I mean, it's always surrounding us. And remember, these are healthy mineral salts. These are trace minerals. Your body doesn't run on proteins, fats, or carbs. Your body's electrical. It runs through its nerve system, and salt is the key factor to making that system healthy. All right, if you go without salt for 4 minutes, and I'm not saying eating salt, but within your body, the body can die. So we have to make sure that we're not depriving ourselves of salt, but it's got to be the right salt.
Right. So, by the way, we're posting all these recipes on flirtingwithflavors.com. We're going to send you the recipes this week. Sign up for them. Also, Dr. Daryl has them on his site, Get Off Your Acid.
Yep.
So make sure you sign up so you can get these recipes. And also, he gives some amazing health advice on your website.
Yeah, we give free recipes every week. So, I mean, there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But what we also do is give tons of different information about what being alkaline is, how to transition to this lifestyle, what is cleansing, what is detoxification, why we need to demand organic. I mean, so many different things. We're here to help you make yourself healthier. It's about progress, not perfection. And if there's anything that we can do to help that, start writing in questions. At the end of this, we'll actually get to those questions. All right, ready for number 3?
We are ready to finish this, I think. Do you want to finish it?
So why don't we finish that? Let's do the avocado. So why you do one, I'll do the other?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we grab another small knife?
Like you know how to do this? You know how to do this? This is so much fun.
Yes.
You take your knife and loosen the seed like that, right? And then I just throw it right into the trash. There we go. And then I need a spoon.
And you can also just do a slight little squeeze like that, which makes it pop right out. Okay? And avocado is like, we use this every single day.
I love avocado.
We call this God's butter because it is like the most perfect food.
So true.
And what we do is we find when these are on sale and we just buy like a ton of them really, really hard. And then what we do is we put them in our refrigerator because these can last up to about 3 weeks in your fridge.
That's right.
And then what we do is we always take 3 or 4 out. We put them on our kitchen counter so we always have a avocado that's ripe. And by the way, Pamela, these are great for travel. So when we're traveling, what we'll do is we'll have one that's hard, one that's middle ripe, and then one that is ready to eat. So if we're on a plane, it's a great snack for the kids. And then as we're traveling, we always have a go-to snack because you're not going to find this stuff at the airport.
And then you just put a little bit of salt on it that you're also carrying with you,
perfect.
And then you have a snack.
Yep, you can take like a little cup and just literally squeeze the avocado right into the cup, add your sea salt right in there, and if you want a little bit of lime, and then just mix it up and eat it right out of the cup. So it's a very, very versatile food. We use this for so many different things. You can use it as just a healthy snack like we're talking about. You can throw these in smoothies. As you mentioned before, your avocado toast. So there's a lot of different ways that we can go about this.
So I'm just slicing a little up here. And we're going to just garnish this Kima bowl with this beautiful avocado.
So I'm just going to give this a little mix back here.
Okay.
This is smelling really good, Pamela.
There we go.
So I'm just going to remove this off of the flame.
Yeah, I think that's probably done, huh?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
So then that goes on top of the quinoa.
You can see just such a soft consistency. Yeah, we're going to put a little cilantro on top.
Cilantro.
So cilantro is one of those foods that people either love or they hate. But what I love about cilantro is it's a heavy metal chelator. Right? We do live blood cell analysis in our office.
That sounds serious.
Everybody's got them. I mean, look at this environment we live in. It's very, very toxic. So everybody has heavy metals. You know, there's aluminum in your underarm deodorant if people have amalgam. So we have to have more foods like this, which helps to get rid of these heavy metals. So cilantro is one of my favorites. It's also in one of the ingredients in the daily greens. So I recommend adding cilantro in as many things as you can, but it's a really great thing for this. If you hate cilantro, you can use something like parsley, which we talked about earlier.
Right.
So just, again, make this yours. You have the foundation here, but you're really able to do whatever you want with this. Yummy.
Oh, this is going to be
looking
good.
Awesome.
And this is substantial. I mean, you will feel full when you eat this for hours.
That's the best
right?
part. We got to lose that whole grazing mentality. Yes, it'll help stimulate your metabolism, but the other problem is that it stimulates your insulin levels, and that's going to create inflammation. So the goal is to really have 3 meals a day with really no snacking in between unless you really need it. So when you have a meal like this, you're not going to be hungry. It's very satiating, and you're going to find that this will fuel you all day long.
So I would put a tiny bit of sea salt on top of the avocado, right? And then if you have that cumin, sprinkle a little more cumin on top of there. And
that is a masterpiece.
There you
Bam.
go.
Good
Woo!
work.
Let me show you.
Yeah, we got to...
Now this is really substantial.
They're going to be fighting for that one later.
I want to try it.
Yeah, go for it. And by the way, you can have this for breakfast too. It's like everyone thinks of breakfast as, bacon, egg, and cheese or whatever. It's like, no, you can have any of this stuff anytime you want. Have fun with it. There's no rules in this game of health.
This is so good.
How do we do?
So good.
Perfect.
It's hard
the
to
consistency
believe
is amazing.
that this is healthy.
That's the best part about these foods.
It's so good.
They literally taste so good you feel like you're cheating on this cleanse.
Yeah.
And remember what I said is that cleansing is a lifestyle. So, Pamela, it's so amazing when we come to day 7.
Oh, good.
When we come to day 7 of the cleanse is that so many of our clients, they're like, can I keep going? Can I keep going? Is yes, like this is whole, real food, but it's loaded with so many nutrients, it's detoxifying for your body. So these are foods on and off a cleanse. They're regular lifestyle.
Okay. You're going to love this. You really are going to. I promise. Delicious.
All right.
Okay, let's get on.
Number 3.
Dessert.
So, we are about to make my most favorite recipe in the world. Chocolate chia pudding.
Okay.
So
I get to eat chocolate on your program?
You do, because this is
pretty
cacao,
cool.
which is unrefined chocolate. Cacao is amazing, high in minerals, and there's so many good qualities to it. And remember what he said is that you have to enjoy this. I think one of the reasons why our success rate is so high with people on the cleanse is that, like you said, these foods taste yummy. They're good. So on a lot of these other diets and fad diets out there, people are finding a way to cheat. They can't wait to stop. But these things taste so good, you're going to want to keep eating them. So yes, you can definitely do this. At the end, we're going to add a little fun thing to it, which we're not going to use on the cleanse. But I wanted to show everybody what we're going to do with that.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is take 2 cups of coconut water. Now you can use regular filtered water if you choose. I like coconut water just because it's a little sweeter.
Right.
There's a lot of different kinds up there. You can buy like something like Vita Coco, but the reason why that's not the optimal source is that it's pasteurized. So things like Harmless Harvest, all right, it's cold pressed, which means it's going to be a little bit healthier for you. But again, all right, coconut water, just it's a good thing in general. It's better than
you can find it everywhere.
Everywhere. All right, so we're going to add that. Then we're going to take half of a cup of cashews.
Cashews. Okay.
Now, cashews is one of those things that I eat in moderation. They do tend to mold sometimes. So again, know your source. Make sure you're getting this from a healthy supply.
I keep them in the freezer.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Very great idea. But you can also, we tried this with macadamia nuts a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah, the consistency was a little different, was a little drier, but it tasted amazing.
I bet.
Right, macadamia nuts are incredible. All right, so we have that, and then what we're going to do is take 1 tablespoon of unsweetened coconut flakes.
Okay.
Yummy. And then we're going to take a little sea salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Sea salt.
All right, we're going to take 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then we are going to take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Now you can see that this coconut oil is solid, right? If it's liquid or solid, don't think that something's wrong with the coconut oil. At 76 degrees or below, this will turn solid. Above that, it's liquid. So just know that. So we're just going to spoon that one out. So the foundation of this, the recipe is vanilla coconut chia pudding. And all we did was added some cacao powder, which is that. So you want to add that 4th cup of cacao powder.
Yes.
Beautiful. And then we have some dates. Now again, dates is another thing that you want to use in moderation because there is fructose in dates. Right? It's a much better sweetener than other forms of sugar. But remember, sugar is sugar to the body.
Just
now,
make sure you take the seeds out.
Yes, take the pits out. Because we have a lot of healthy fats, we can have the dates because the fats will slow down the metabolization of the sugar, and that's going to prevent your insulin from spiking. So the dates are allowed on this, okay? All right, now we have my little secret over here.
Ooh, tell us about this.
So this is a company that I love called Medicine Flower, and these are raw essential oils. So basically, if you take 2 drops of this, that's equivalent to 1 teaspoon of like a vanilla extract.
Right.
So they're raw, which is excellent. That's the most beneficial part of it, but they're very concentrated. So I love these. We have like 20 different flavors at home. We have guava and passion fruit, so you can like add these to your water just for like flavored drinking water. So
I will.
there are a lot of great things. So we're gonna take.
This is new to me. I
Yes.
love this.
So this
idea.
one we're gonna add about 10 or 12 drops.
Of which one is that?
This is
one?
vanilla.
Vanilla.
So this is the one we're gonna add the most
I
of.
love vanilla.
Okay, then we're gonna add some coconut. The coconut, we just add 5 drops. And if you don't have these, everybody, don't worry. You do not need to use these. You can
just add regular vanilla.
Exactly. All right. I mean, one bottle of these will cost about $15, so they are a little pricey, but this will last you forever.
Right.
All right. So in the end, it's actually a really good bang for your dollar. All right. And this is light chocolate, which is a good one. So we'll add 5 drops of that.
Oh, so this is going to be really rich and
Oh
flavorful.
yeah, it's yummy. All right. So why don't we give that a good blend?
Okay.
We got everything in there that we need.
And see, this is so easy because, again, you know, it's just all the ingredients in the Vitamix.
We got another thing that you can make ahead of time, Pamela, on a Sunday. So this is ready to go. You come home from a long day of work, you're tired. This is something that is ready to go. And it doesn't last that long. Yeah, it's about 5 more seconds. So when you're blending this is something you want to have on a high power because again, you want to really emulsify all those flavors.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the chia seeds. Can I get a tablespoon? Yeah.
I'm going to put them over here.
Excellent. Okay. So what I like about the Vitamix is that this is a variable speed blender. And we're going to add 6 tablespoons one at a time. So let's put this on 1 speed. And we'll open up the top. Okay, so we'll add 1 at a time. So we're going to add 6. The reason why you want to have this low, right, you don't want to chop up the chia seeds because as these are in your refrigerator for 4 or 5 hours, these chia seeds are going to plump up. They're called hydrophilic, which means they will expand up to 27 times their size. And what's great about this is that your small intestine, which is the gut, where all of your health really resides, 80% of your nerve system, 80% of your immune system is in the gut, but it can get a little bit of clogged. So what the chia seeds do is they go into all those nooks and crannies of the gut, and it's like an internal shower. They just help get things moved out, and it improves digestion. So I'm a big fan of the chia. If you don't have one of these blenders, all you need to do is just put 6 tablespoons in, mix up with a spoon, and you're ready to go. All right, so what we're gonna do is put this into a little something to put in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Okay, we could just leave this. Yeah, we have a bowl over there, would be great.
Here.
Perfect. So right now, it is gonna be very liquidy, as you see as I pour it.
But then the chia seeds expand and it thickens up in your refrigerator.
Yeah, so another tip is that if you do have this Vitamix, if you keep it on that low speed and you do this for about 3 or 4 minutes, it'll actually plump up right before you and you will get a consistency like that if you don't want to wait. I still like to wait. I think it tastes better when you put it in the fridge and it does it on its own. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that, Pamela, we're going to put that in the fridge 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Then what we'll do is we'll take that out and you'll see that the consistency is going to be much different. So it looks like that. It's just delicious. And then what I'm going to do, can we grab a little cinnamon if we have it? We like to just garnish this with a little cinnamon. And then I have here a healthier chocolate. This is cacao with sea salt. And what I'm going to do, again, on the cleanse, we're not going to do this, but we're having fun today, so we're going to make an exception. And then we're just going to grate some of this.
Now this would be a really nice dessert even at a dinner party.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm going to tell you, when we make this for people, they go crazy. Again, they can't believe that this is healthy for you. And if your kids are out there, they will love this. Right? This is something that they are going to eat up all the time. It's not even going to make it to 3 or 4 days. So make extra of this.
So then we'll just put a little bit of cinnamon on top, a little bit. And there we go.
All right.
Here's to
give
ya.
this a try. Everyone on the cleanse, turn your eyes. I'm having a little cacao right now.
This is so good.
It's hard for me not to eat the rest of that right now.
No.
That is so,
It's
so
really creamy
yummy.
and rich, and it doesn't even taste like, it doesn't have sugar in it.
It's amazing.
Really incredible.
And we actually have 5 variations, so if you want to change the flavor, instead of adding the cacao, you can just get a little jar of like pumpkin, or you can
that's a
add
nice
blueberries.
idea.
I mean, whatever you want, you
Right.
can change the flavor profile. So it doesn't have to be a 1/4 cup of cacao. It could be a 1/4 cup of any of those things, whatever flavor you want. So the vanilla coconut is always going to be the foundation, but you can change the flavor. So fall time, that's when we use things like pumpkin and other
can't stop
spices.
eating it.
I know, it's yummy. All right, so
So there you have it.
that was a lot of fun.
3 recipes, all easy. Anybody can do them. And make sure if you want the recipes that you go on our website. Also, we're going to be doing another detox in May. And
More of that to come.
yeah, there's going to be some surprises. So make sure that you go on our website, flirtingwithflavors.com.
Yep.
Getofyouracid.com.
And if there's any recipes that you guys want to see more of, if there's something that you eat that is in a more acid form, you're like, what is your take on this? You know, we would love to see what people want us to do.
Right.
And let's like have fun with this. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back in a few weeks. We'll do another 3 recipes.
Great.
And we'll kind of change it up a little bit. And then we'll kind of keep this going. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Love it.
So any questions out there? Joan, you want
Here's
to tell
to
us
your
some
health.
questions?
Who has questions?
So one question that came through was, what nuts are more alkaline than other nuts?
Oh, good question.
Great question. So, most importantly, you have to make sure that they're raw, all right? Never buy dry roasted nut, because a dry roasted nut transforms into what's called a trans fat, as I mentioned before. Trans fats are highly inflammatory, so something like a dry roasted almond. So you have to always go with raw nuts, raw seeds. So things like raw almonds, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts, those are going to be like your best ones that you can go for. But you want to stay away from walnuts would be a good one. But always go with the raw. But do these in moderation. Remember, just your body likes variety. You can't do the same thing over and over and over, because the body will get sensitized to that. Almonds, you got to be careful of, all right, because this is a little bit of a crazy story. Back in 2004, there was over 30 cases of salmonella poisoning in California.
What?
Yeah. And now, because of that, the government is actually irradiating all these almonds. So even when you're buying raw organic almonds, there is some issue with that. Same thing with almond milk. So we always go for coconut milk. It's much better. When you're buying, because there's, I think, a big thing you're seeing out there, all these nut milks, which is great. People are moving away from dairy, which I
Right.
say is scary. All right, we're the only mammals that consume another mammal's breast milk after weaning. It's insane. All right, cow's milk don't even drink cow's milk. So not going to get into the whole story, but nut milks are much better for you, but please look at the labels, because they're not all created equal. When you look at the label, you want to avoid 2 major ingredients, carrageenan and cane sugar. All right, so you'll see different companies. Just look at that label. If those ingredients are on there, just keep looking. You'll find it without it. That's the kind you want to go for. But I always
Really
prefer
good to
coconut milk
know.
over almonds because of that. And there are places that you can get these raw almonds that are not irradiated. So there are some places in California, some roadside stands.
Thrive
is great.
online.
Yeah, there's
You
a lot
can
of
get
great places.
Any kind of
Yeah.
organic food online.
So we have a good list in the book of good fats and bad fats. So we
Right.
list all these different things. But basically, there's nuts that are anti-inflammatory, or healthy fats that are anti-inflammatory. Then there's the ones that are pro-inflammatory. And the problem is that we have way too many of these omega-6 fats in our diet. And that's the problem. That's what's making people so inflamed. So we got to stick with more of these healthier versions. But that's a really great question.
Any other questions?
Final question is, what beans do you prefer?
Okay, well, we talked about that before.
Right.
Again, the smaller beans are better because the body can break them down easier. So things like lentils, things like chickpeas, azuki beans. All right, I mentioned black beans is more of an acidic one, so I stay away from that. But what we like to do, again, when we're in a bind, we'll buy Eden Organic, which is one of the better kinds, right? So this is our go-to brand. But what we also like to do is buy the dry beans, and what we do is we soak them overnight. And what the soaking does, same thing for nuts, by the way. So when we get our almonds, we soak them overnight, and then what we do is we dehydrate them for 24 hours. Now, you don't have to get that crazy, but why do we do this? Right? The reason why we soak them overnight is that in nature, these nuts and seeds have to protect themselves from predators.
Right.
So they have things like enzyme inhibitors, phytic acid, all these anti-nutrients that if you eat them without soaking them overnight, it's going to disrupt your digestive system. So next time I go to eat them, I might be thinking, maybe not this time. So when you soak them, it removes that. So again, they're more digestible to the body. But the cool thing is that you can go to Whole Foods or health food stores and they actually sell sprouted nuts. So that's the way you go about that. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can just go to Whole Foods and get them as a sprouted nut or your local health food store. And that's a much better source. Okay?
Dr. Daryl, thank you.
Hey, it was so much fun.
What
Thank
a
you.
great time
Thank you. Yes.
I can't wait to do this again.
We will be back in a few weeks. All right, Pamela, flirtingwithflavors.com, getoffyouracid.com, and your social tag, same thing, Flirting with Flavors.
Flirting with Flavors, Pam Flavors.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, and reach out to us. All right, if there's any questions you have,
post your questions.
we are here to help
we will
you.
Answer them.
We are going to be back, and till we see you again, get off your acid and make it fun, flirtatious,
Keep
and
flirting.
passionate.
Okay.
All right, love and appreciate everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.